Hello everyone. Today we're going to try to put some aero bars on the Creo bike. So here's what we got. The Redshift aero bars. They look like this. These are the aluminum ones. Come with the mounts and stuff. We're going to put those on, retape the bike with this, kind of looks pretty close to matching the bike tape. Got these different clamps in blue, little end caps, which are a nice aluminum expanding. That should look a little better. And finally, we're going to add these blips, which will add to the aero bars, and that'll provide shifting from the aero bars. I think this should be a good setup. Okay, now that we have we figured out what we're going to do, let's look at the bike over here. So here's what we got. We got the manual TCU shifters, which one came off, and I want to move those and reposition them down underneath the handlebars here. So I want it real close so it'll be easy to change that when we're in the normal position. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this off, pull off the old tape. I'll try to tilt the handlebars because I don't like this being level. Change the angle. Peel this up, change the angle of the shifters. Rotate the handlebars. Pull this tape off. Put the aero bars on, reposition everything, and retape everything, and it should look pretty good. Okay, let's first see what we can do. This one's already falling off. Let's try to get this undone. Pull the hood up, get around the hood of that shifter. Okay, we got that one off. All right, let's start the other side now. All right, to get that end cap off, I needed to use a 3mm wrench. Got it loose, so we'll do the same thing on this side. Get this one unscrewed. 3mm hex wrench. Pop that in, loosen it up a little bit. Now we can get the cap off easier. Of course, it doesn't want to come off. Now pull up the hood on the shifter. Start getting the tape off. There's the blip, not the blip, the TCU up and down button. We're going to have to work on those too. So I'm going to cut the cable, not cut the cable, but cut the tape holding it together so that we can get those off. Okay, now we got the bar tape coming off now. Okay, we're going around the shifter again. And we also got the dropper post on this side. Okay. Now we got all that out. Alright, so let's see what we got. Got this cable wrapped around here in a really weird position. We'll have to redo all this so it's not so tight. This is connected together. I'm going to cut that little shrink tubing so we can separate these and put them near the shifters. Alright, let's see what we got to do next. Okay, next we're going to very carefully cut this shrink tubing apart so we can separate these two remotes so that we can have them closer to the shifters. I'm going super slow on this one because we don't want to accidentally cut those wires. Almost there. Okay, got them apart. Not damaged. Perfect. Okay. All right, here's what we're going to do next. This is a 4mm. Let's unscrew this a little bit. I want to change the angle of the bars. They're just too flat on the bottom for comfortable riding. So we can rotate this. Let's set this right up here. That'll be right there. Hold it there. Bring this up. Clumsy today, huh? Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, here's what we're going to do next. Got a 5mm wrench. We're going to loosen up the screw, the shifter, so we can reposition this thing a little bit lower. Because now that we tilted the handlebars up, it'd be nicer to have it lower. Oh, let's see. I move you up. We're gonna have to lower the dropper post screw too. So let's see what that one is. 2mm. Yeah, it's more like it right about there. All right, now let's retighten these screws. This is the 2mm one, the dropper post. I'm gonna go back to the 5mm. It's nice and straight, right where we want it. Start tightening this screw. I think this will be a lot nicer. Because before, I kind of had to reach my hands up to hit the brakes. Shifting wasn't that cool. This will be a lot nicer setup. There. It looks good there. Okay. Let's lower the other side. You guys can see this with my hands in the way. Maybe I'll try tilting it this way. The screw in here. Unscrew it. A little loose. All right, let's line these guys up. About right there. Let's see what it looks like. Nope. Okay, right about there looks good. The screw seems pretty tight for clamp being loose. It's starting to bite. Alright, let's make sure this looks good. I think I'll reposition out a little bit. Okay. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is going to put on the aero bar clamps. We're going to put this as close as we can to the Garmin mount. Let's see what this looks like. We're going to want these level.
The handlebars are really slim on this one. They taper off really quick, so we don't have much options unless we get a shim or something to put in there. Let's see how it works with it being close. Okay, got one side on. Now let's try the right side. Make sure this is level. Okay, looks pretty good. Now what we want to do is tape up the cables. We'll start getting the cables organized. So let's do this left one, the right one. Let's get it taped up right here. Run that underneath like that. Now this is the tricky one, is the drop shifter cable. It's a solid cable. I'm putting our piece here because these are, they're already temperamental. Get that tucked in nice and good. Now remember, we want to remount the TCU up and down buttons. We're going to do that. Okay, I think we can put the shifter up and down button right here. And that'll be under the shifter cover. So let's see if we can get that pulled up a little bit. We'll get that taped in there with some electrical tape. A little more tape around here. Then we'll tuck this wire up here where the rest of the wires are going. And I'll see if we can get the other side in. Okay, now we can mount the shifter on the other side. Let's see how we can do this one. The camera. Make sure the wires are how we want them so they don't get all tangled up. I'm going to have this come around here. We're going to go onto here. There's a flat spot is where I'm putting it, right below the, like the brake cable. On there. Where? Right here. Just hold it in there really nice. Okay. Get our wire up in here. That way when we finish this up, we can make this look real nice by tucking all these wires in, wrapping them up nice. And they all stay together. Okay, so now we're going to add the bar tape on the left hand side. So we're going to peel off a little sticky coating on the inside of this. Get it started. Gotta be careful because otherwise you'll take off the glue too. Seems like it has like just clear tape on it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to start at the bottom of the handlebars near the end cap and have about a third of the tape hanging over the edge so we can push that in with the cap. Okay, so now we can start it. I'm going looping around. So you want to go once all the way around first. Then we're going to keep going up with an overlap. And I'm going to pull this like really tight to stretch this stuff. It seems not so stretchy. Keep going up. Keep your overlap, a little bit of overlap. Oh, what luck, the tape's coming off. Okay, so there we go. Get this around the bottom. Now I'm coming up to the dropper post, so I'm going to loop around the dropper post, go all the way around it, and then I'm going to change directions and come up over, come between the TCU shifter and the hood right here, real tight, wedge it in there, come around this way, kind of like in an X pattern. Then I'm going to come back around this way, and then we're going to get this started here, and we're going to come across the rest of the way. Now remember, the hood should be covering up that X part right there. We should still be good. Coming around. Getting close to the end, guys. It doesn't seem like we have a whole lot extra, so it should be pretty good. Okay. Coming up to the end of the roll. We're coming up to where we need to be. So now we can just take this, pull it, get a little bit more over since we have the space, we have the tape. I'm going to go right up to the edge of the arrow bar. There we are, we got it. Now, that'll unroll unless we put on some electrical tape. So let's wrap the end of this with the electrical tape. See, it's already starting to come off. Okay, get back on there. I'll put our electrical tape on. It doesn't look too shabby. Okay, looks pretty good, feels pretty good. Now what we do is we tuck the last bit of the start of the tape in and wedge in our little cap. Push this in, get the tape in there. Come on, get in there, you. Right, pushing it in. It's pretty tight. Ooh, it's tight on this side. There, okay, got it. I take my little wrench, get that little bit tucked in, tighten it up, get it tighter with this. There we go. Okay, got that tight. I can take the hood, pull the hood back. There we go. That looks pretty good. We got the little button. It's totally hidden underneath there. Yep, works good. Okay, let's start the right side now. All right, let's see. We're ready to start the right-hand side. So we're going to do the same as we did on the other side. Start the tape. We're going to peel off the little white piece. And we're going to have a little bit overlap. Like 1/3 the tape we're going to overlap. We're going to come around and get this nice and tight. You want to go one full turn on the outer piece. We're going to start coming in, coming around. Being around, keep going. You want to make sure you pull this tight so it's nice and tight and doesn't move in the future. Now here's where we come up to the shifter. So we're going to pull this in, come around, Now, here's where we come up. I'll go to the other side. We're going to do our come up, and we're going to come on the inside of the hood and that TCU shifter. I mean the button. So now we're going to come around. I do it this way actually. Come up here. Come around. Inside. Back around. Yeah. Here we go. Around that way. Nice and tight. You get good overlap. Coming around, getting towards the end. Yep. Here we are. Okay, made it to the end. Get our electrical tape on here. This thing starts to fall off. Okay, looks pretty good. Put the hood back down. Get the rubber back in position. We're right over the switches, so let's see if we can hear the switches. The switches are working good. Hit it on the inside. That looks pretty good. Okay. All right, now we'll do the aero bars. Okay, let's mount the aero bars. So since I have this camera mount here, it's kind of tight already, so I'm going to put them on with the little latch facing the front. So what you have to do is you have to push this lever up. It's on a spring. Slide it in, and then slightly tighten this screw in the back till we get it tight in the front. Okay, now we're close. It's kind of like the old quick release. Okay, so a little bit tighter. There. Okay, got that one on. Pop the other side on. There. Okay. Loosen these guys up a little bit. It's a 4mm wrench. Grab one of our tubes. Put this sucker in here. Okay. Get it to the position we want, which is probably right about there. So I'm lining the end of the tube up with kind of like just the cap hanging over the edge of the bar. That should be pretty good. Get this nice and tight. Got my position good. Okay, let's drop the other one in. Same thing, let's get the angle right. Get this nice and tight. Everything's nice and tight. Okay, it looks good. Let me reposition the camera. All right, here's what we're gonna do. So we gotta rip off the Velcro pad on the right side. Now we can position this. Let's see if we wanna try go in the center. So I use the center screws, the center hole mounts. I'm going to use the two on the end to get this nice and straight. We'll do the other side. Get the Velcro off. Grab our two screws. Get the position started. Okay, we're gonna get this nice and straight. Yep. All right, how's that look? Looks pretty good. All right, pop our Velcro back on. All right, looks good. Okay, now that we got the aero bars mounted, let's add the SRAM blips to the system. So to do that, you go to the rear derailleur and you push and hold the little button for a couple seconds until the green light starts blinking. And then you go to your right shifter and push and hold the inside. It'll blink real fast. Push and hold the left one now until it blinks real fast. Now we'll grab the blips, push and hold the right one. Do you see it blink real fast in the back? Okay, now we'll do the other side. Okay, there. Now to stop the pairing mode, push and hold the button on the derailleur. Now we can try it. See, it's working. So okay, that looks good. Now we can pop these on here. And I got the right one set up. Okay, so they're the same on each side. Let's get them positioned nice and centered. I'll put a little bit of electrical tape on there to get them started. It doesn't really have a sticky or anything on it, so we'll just put a little bit of electrical tape on there. Put some on the other side. Okay, looks good. Now that's all set up, let's get the bar tape installed again on the aero bars. Okay, let's do that step next. Okay, so what we did is when we put the blips on, we put them on just about the width of the bar tape. So let's try starting this bar tape on the aero bars. I'm gonna start at the top. Go one all the way around. I'm gonna get a little bit over that shifter, the blip. Let's come around, let's see what we can do. Never done one of these before. We'll come around to the bottom, loop around. Okay, looks good now. Keep going around. I'm just gonna go to where the handle is, or the pad, I mean. I'll cover up the Redshift logo, but hey, they're not even carbon bars anyway, so. My old Redshift bars were carbon. These are just aluminum, so I don't think you can get the carbon ones anymore. We'll cover this up, make it look nice. Getting close to where we want to stop. What I'll do here on the end, girl, stop. What I'll do here on the end is I'll loop around and I'll get and build up over here. And shh. Okay. I'm gonna go one more. I'm gonna cut it off. Got a lot of extra at the bottom here, so let's cut that off so it's on the bottom. We'll do our electrical tape. Just wrapped up. Shh. There. Okay, that one's done. Now we're ready for the last part. Sorry this video is taking so long. Okay, so I'm going to put the tape on. Coming around. Let's go around one full time. Now we're going to pass over the top of the blip just to catch the end of it. Come around and get the bottom of it. Get the tape going here. And make sure you get it tight. Stuff doesn't stretch a whole lot. Getting close here. My Garmin's really close right there. Okay, towards the end, I'm gonna get really tight, loop it around one time. There. Get it towards the bottom. Cut it at the halfway point underneath. Okay. Get our electrical tape. Hey, it looks done now. Shifting's working. Up and down. These are working. Looks good, guys. Feels good. Got the shock. Looks like we'll have to give it a ride. Thanks for watching. Here's what it looks like. I hope you guys can see what that looks like. Got the tape kind of, the turquoise color kind of matches. We got the blips up here for shifting. And redid our brakes. Oh, the one thing I want to do is I'm going to wrap up this, let's just do this touch up with the wires. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of electrical tape on here to hold all this stuff together. We can get that little plastic cover on I want to put on. Put a couple little pieces on here just to get it nice. We'll just go right up to the dropper sheet shifter, dropper post adjustment position. Okay, this little stretchy piece, see if we can get it on there. Put a little bit of electrical tape at the bottom. And we love our electrical tape. Just a little piece right here to prevent this from opening back up. Run this all the way up to here. It's a little too long. I'm going to cut it off right before that adjustment. There you go. Looks pretty good. A little bit of electrical on the top so it doesn't come undone. A little bit of electrical up on that other piece. Just to hold the TCU shifter, or TCU up and down button. Nice. There we go. Alright, see how that looks. Let's get a close up.